Stan was used as a skateboard and kicked straight into a mud pit. Then he was tied to a spinning chair, but that was far from over. After that, he was shoved into a mud hole, and someone smashed his head hard with a rocking horse. After endless torture, the man still didn't stop. He took a running start, jumped into the air, and slammed Stan into the ground so hard that only his head was left sticking out. All of this goes back to when Stan was a kid. When he was little, he was constantly bullied by a school bully. Now his son Steve was even more cowardly than he had been. The boy wouldn't even cross the street unless someone held his hand. Stan was absolutely furious. To toughen his son up, Stan decided to use the same cruel methods he had suffered as a child to harden Steve.
Give me a lunch!
Stop! Get off me!
Yeah, that's what your mom said last night.
Even though Stan beat Steve badly, Steve didn't dare tell Francine because Stan kept threatening him. The next day on the way to school, Stan disguised himself as a thug and stole his son's bike. Later, Steve found Stan and tried to reason with the thug dad, but Stan just threw coffee in his face. From then on, Stan's behavior spiraled out of control, turning Steve's life into a living hell. To find out who was bullying Steve, Francine took Stan to the school to check the security footage. Stan panicked and tried to pull her away, but in the end, Francine discovered the truth.
You are Steve's bully?
Oh, gotta go myself. Goodbye, Steve.
Luckily, Stan managed to escape. Furious, Francine crashed straight through a glass door and chased after him. Stan drove away in his car, but Francine caught up and cornered him by the road. She sternly warned Stan to stop bullying Steve, but Stan insisted he was only teaching his son to stand up for himself. With no other choice, Francine decided to teach Steve how to fight herself. She thought back to her younger days and was sure she could handle it, but Steve was far more cowardly than she had ever imagined. Frustrated, she gave up completely. Just then, Steve came up with an idea. He dressed up as an old man, but even that couldn't get rid of Stan. Filled with anger, Steve challenged his father to a duel, setting a time for their showdown. Stan showed up at the schoolyard on time, in front of the whole school. He was about to pull down Steve's pants to humiliate him. Little did he know, Steve had invited the bully who had picked on Stan years before. Now it was Stan's turn to be bullied in front of everyone. Stan was beaten badly and completely humiliated. He finally came to his senses and decided he would never interfere in his son's life again.